Have you ever sat there knowing exactly what you need to do, but unable to move? Not lazy, not tired, just stuck. Like there's an invisible wall between you and the life you want. You're not alone, and more importantly, it's not your fault. Feeling stuck isn't about a lack of potential. Most of the time, it's not even about knowledge or talent. It's about mental programming, the invisible scripts we've absorbed from childhood that quietly tell us how far we're allowed to go. These mental blocks aren't obvious. They're subtle. They feel like hesitation, like confusion, like fear disguised as logic. And the scariest part? Most of this programming began before you even had the power to question it. Let's go back. You were born curious, imaginative, and free-thinking. But from a young age, something started shifting. You entered a system, the school system, that wasn't designed to develop independent minds. It was designed to create obedient ones. Sit still, follow instructions, memorize, obey. Don't question, don't challenge, don't fail. Creativity became distraction. Curiosity became disobedience. Disagreement became trouble. And so, piece by piece, a powerful mind was slowly caged. Most schools don't reward problem solvers or critical thinkers. They reward compliance, the ones who follow the rules best, the ones who color inside the lines, even if the picture is wrong. We're not taught how to think, we're taught what to think. And by the time you realize this, it already feels dangerous to step outside of that structure. Now, fast forward to adulthood. You want something more meaning, more freedom, more impact. But when it's time to act, you freeze, you hesitate, you self-sabotage. Why? Because that voice you learned to listen to, the one that says do it right or don't do it at all, is still there. You've been conditioned to wait for permission, to believe that your value is something you need to prove through external validation. Worse, society reinforces this with every headline, every viral post, every fake version of success you see online. You compare yourself to people who seem to be miles ahead, forgetting that what you're seeing is a filtered highlight reel, not real life. And slowly doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm not meant for more. Maybe I'm just not like them. But there's another layer, a quiet one. The idea that anything outside of what's socially acceptable is dangerous, offensive, wrong. Now, don't confuse this with being respectful. Respect matters. But we've reached a point where disagreement feels like a threat, where expressing a different opinion can cost you relationships, jobs, or even your sense of safety. So instead of being real, you become filtered, watered down, censored, not by force, but by fear. You silence your ideas to stay comfortable. You avoid risk to stay accepted. You don't set bold goals because failure has become shameful. You stay stuck because safety has replaced growth. Another mental block is this toxic belief that success is reserved for a chosen few. We're told stories of prodigies, overnight millionaires, or gifted individuals, as if greatness is genetic. But the truth, success is about repetition, adaptation, and resilience, not talent. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they stop. And they stop because they were never taught to keep going when things get uncomfortable. The truth is uncomfortable. You weren't trained to succeed. You were trained to conform. So, what now? Start by understanding this. Your current mindset is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to rewire it. Question everything you were taught. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? If not, drop it, replace it, build a better one. Give yourself permission. You don't need someone's approval to go after what you want. Stop waiting, decide, move, reframe failure. You didn't fail, you learned. You didn't lose, you discovered a better strategy. Keep moving, stop fearing discomfort. Growth only exists outside of comfort. The more you lean into uncertainty, the more you expand. Speak your truth. The world needs voices that are honest, not polished. If you're too afraid to speak, you'll always be too afraid to lead. You feel stuck because your mind has been locked in patterns that don't serve you. But you have the key. It starts with awareness. It continues with action. You weren't born to follow. You were born to build, to create, to disrupt, to think. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to start.